Well, let's start again with your history in this town. But where your family's from and how they ended up here.
Well, I was born in High Prairie, Alberta, and I'm not sure how old I was when I first come to Valemount, but my dad had a contract with the British government to take out mine props, and he also had a sawmill, so I think he had the sawmill first. I don't remember for sure which came first.
And this was just after the war, is that right?
Yeah. No, just after the war, that's right, about 1946.
What was your father's name?
Nat Levens, everybody called him just Slim Levens. Well, they came from Ontario, near the lakes. My grandfather was a boat builder. He built boats there, and when we moved to Alberta, he went on the Peace River and took a scow on the Peace River and went up to Fort Norman, and that was when they were taking out that what was that stuff that made the atom bomb?
Uranium?
Uranium, yes, and he took uranium on his boat, and the natives packed the uranium in sacks, and of course when the sacks were too worn out to pack the uranium, why their wives made clothes out of them. So that is, they called it the City of Widows or whatever. I mean, all the people got
sick from the uranium.
Oh yeah.
And your parents, did they meet and get married in High Prairie?
Yeah. My grandfather wasn't pleased. My dad was always playing tricks on him too. It's just
So your grandfather wasn't pleased about them getting married? Is that what you?
Well, my grandfather was Scottish, and my dad was kind of a happy-go-lucky guy and full of pranks, and of course that didn't go over with my. I remember my granddad setting down his gloves when they were thrashing, and my dad would pick them up and put them someplace else. I had to stop the thrashing until Grandpa found his gloves, that sort of thing.
And how many kids did your parents have?
7.
And where do you fall in those 7?
My oldest brother, Ralph Levens, and then Donald, and then me. I was the oldest girl. There was 7 of us. Yeah, well, somebody hadn't hadn't got their orders, or actually, yeah, somebody mustn't have stopped for orders or some darn thing, because it wasn't supposed to happen. But there was only one track, or there was places where there was only one track.
Were you here when it happened?
Yes.
Did you go up there?
They didn't find the engineer. I knew the engineer was from Jasper, and they didn't find his body till the next spring. And we used to go up every year, and they'd have a service up there. And I knew his daughter. I didn't know her ahead of that time, but after that I knew her. Yeah.
You didn't go in there and work with the rescue party or anything like that?
No, I was at home, but I heard the crash. I was hanging out diapers, so
What did you think it was when you heard? You said you were hanging out diapers and you heard the crash. Do
yeah.
you suppose it was a train?
Yeah, I knew it was a train. It couldn't have been anything else at that time. And but I didn't know, of course, it was a troop train. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess it felt like the bush around here pretty much, eh?
Yeah, I liked it. I came from High Prairie, was a country place. No mountains, but I liked the mountains. They're beautiful.
And so your dad started, he opened a mill at that point, or to take out pit props?
Pit props, I think this is what he did first here. Yeah.
And your mom, did she work in the camps at all, or did she stay at home?
No, she had raised 7 kids. She had done her task.
And do you know how she felt about being out here? Was she happy to be here?
Well, I suppose she was lonely for her friends, but she mostly was busy trying to make us look prosperous. She made all our clothes. She hand-me-downs from... It was the best of materials because it was from better-off family members or friends or whatever.
So they would send her the material?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's the best of wool, and really, I know when my sister Doris started the school, she had a dress made out of my dad's swallowtail suit. It was black and the very best of fine, soft wool. And she made Doris a dress out of that, and she decorated with roses, like the Alberta rose around the bottom, and around the. I think Doris just looked beautiful, which pleased her no end, I know Mrs. Kushner owned the hotel. I suppose I told you this one before. Mrs. Kushner owned the hotel, and she used to shovel up the dirt on the side of the hotel there. And my sister Doris said, "Oh, are you planting something?" She said, "Yeah, peon me's."
So what was Mrs. Kushner's hotel like? What was it? So she had rooms? Was there a restaurant there?
Yeah, there was rooms. But if people came and drank too much and left their kids in the lobby, well, she'd kick them out, tell them to go home and look after their family. Yeah. Because there was no place to live. A bunch of kids around, drunks like that.
So it was a pretty wild scene in there sometimes?
Well, it was just that the kids were left alone there, and I don't know whether the drunks would have better idea than to molest them because Mrs. Kushner was there, but they were just, listening to the cursing and swearing and whatever the heck was going on. And
was it mostly men? Were there women as well?
The women had to have an escort. Yeah. And there wasn't many women that went. Yeah. I remember a guy, Alec, and I think was his name, he used to try to entertain the girls, you know. And he would take a glass, he'd take a beer, drink the beer, and then eat the glass. Yeah.
He'd eat the glass?
Yeah. And it just made me sick, you know, to watch him. And of course it killed him.
So what
Eventually.
did he smash the glass and then eat it? How?
Yeah, just bite it and chew it up in little pieces. He was entertaining us girls.